Welcome to WhisperNacht. I'm really happy you're here with me tonight. You've done enough for today. You've carried so many thoughts, so many responsibilities, and now you're finally here, lying safely in your bed. It's time to release everything. Take a slow, deep breath with me. Inhale gently, hold it for a second, and exhale softly. Let's do this a few more times. Inhale, and as you exhale, feel all the tension leaving your body. Let your shoulders drop. Let your arms grow heavy. Let your legs sink deeper into the mattress. Let your jaw relax completely. Let your forehead become smooth and calm. Tonight, I want to take you far away, to a place where the modern world cannot reach. We're traveling to a remote, windswept, rocky coastline that feels forgotten by time. Here, the ocean is endless. The waves speak constantly. The wind carries old stories. And standing alone against all of this wild nature is a tall, ancient lighthouse. They call it the Whispering Lighthouse. For over 130 years, it has stood there, sending its powerful beam into the darkness, guiding lost ships through deadly storms. But there are many legends surrounding this place. Some say its light has saved thousands of lives. Others say something far older and much lonelier lives within its cold stone walls. They say that when the fog rolls in thick and the nights become especially quiet, the lighthouse begins to whisper, calling to certain people, to those who feel lost, to those carrying heavy pain in their hearts, to those who secretly wish to disappear from their old lives. I'll be right here with you the entire time. My voice will stay soft, gentle, and very close to your ear. If you feel yourself becoming sleepy at any moment, please don't fight it. Just let go. You can fall asleep whenever you want. I'll continue whispering quietly, keeping you company through the night. Now, get as comfortable as you possibly can. Adjust your pillow, pull the blanket up over your shoulders, and when you're completely ready, let's begin. The storm had been raging without mercy for 3 full days and nights when Thomas first arrived at the lighthouse. He was a 34-year-old writer whose life had slowly fallen apart. 6 months earlier, his wife of 8 years had left him suddenly. The emptiness in their old apartment had become unbearable. He couldn't write. He couldn't sleep. He couldn't even be alone with his own thoughts anymore. He needed total isolation. So when he found an old advertisement for a 1-month stay at a historic lighthouse keeper's cottage, he booked it the same hour without thinking twice. The drive to the lighthouse was long and treacherous. The narrow road hugged sharp cliffs. On one side were jagged black rocks. On the other side, the furious ocean crashed violently. Dark, heavy clouds covered the entire sky. When he finally reached the end of the road, it was only 6 in the evening, but it already felt like the middle of the night. The small keeper's cottage was surprisingly warm and cozy. The wooden floors creaked gently under his steps. There was a large stone fireplace, a comfortable bed with thick wool blankets, an old wooden desk facing the sea, and a big window that gave a perfect, almost intimidating view of the tall white lighthouse, standing only 30 meters away. That first night, Thomas lit the fireplace. The warm, crackling fire mixed with the roar of the waves outside. He made himself some tea, sat at the desk, and opened his laptop, hoping the silence would finally help him write again. But the words didn't come. His mind was too noisy. Instead, he began to notice something strange. A very low, gentle humming sound. At first he thought it was the wind moving through the old window cracks, but the longer he listened, the more it sounded like a soft, sad melody, like a woman quietly singing to herself in the distance. The next morning, the supply boat arrived. The only other person who came to the island regularly was an old man named Elias. He had rough hands and eyes that had seen too many storms. "You hear it yet?" Elias asked with a strange smile. "Hear what?" Thomas asked. "The lighthouse. It gets lonely. And when it gets too lonely, it starts talking." Thomas smiled politely, thinking the old man was just telling stories. But on the third night, the whispers began. He was lying in bed when he heard it for the first time. "Thomas." The voice was incredibly soft and tender. He sat up, heart racing. "Thomas, come closer." From that night on, the voice became clearer every single night. Sometimes it was a young woman's voice, warm and caring. Sometimes it sounded like an old man, and sometimes it sounded exactly like his ex-wife, using the same loving tone from the early days of their relationship. On the seventh night, during the worst storm yet, the voice spoke with painful clarity. "I've been waiting for you for such a long, long time, Thomas. Please don't be afraid. I'm not going to hurt you." That night, something inside Thomas finally gave in. He put on his coat, stepped out into the heavy rain, and walked straight to the lighthouse. The heavy metal door, which had always been locked, was now standing slightly open. He entered and began climbing the long spiral staircase. With every step, the air inside grew warmer and strangely comforting. When he reached the lantern room at the very top, the giant light was slowly rotating, casting its beam across the stormy sea. Even though no one had maintained the machinery for decades. And there, standing in the center of the room, was a woman. She wore a long white dress from the 1890s. Her skin was pale like moonlight. Her eyes were completely black, yet filled with deep sadness and gentleness. She looked at him and smiled with heartbreaking tenderness. "You finally came," she whispered softly. "I've been so incredibly lonely here all these years." Her name was Eleanor. She told him she was the daughter of the first lighthouse keeper. In 1897, during one of the most violent storms in recorded history, her father fell deathly ill. Eleanor climbed to the top herself to keep the light burning so ships wouldn't crash. A massive wave struck the tower. She lost her balance and fell into the dark, freezing ocean. Her body was never recovered. Since that night, her spirit had been trapped inside the lighthouse, forever bound to keep the light on, forever calling to lonely and broken souls who needed escape. Just like Thomas. Night after night, Thomas returned to the lighthouse. He spent many hours talking with Eleanor. He told her about his failed marriage, his regrets, his fears, his lost dreams. She listened to every single word with endless patience and understanding. She shared her own memories from 1897. For the first time in years, Thomas felt truly seen, truly heard, and truly loved. He stopped writing. He barely ate. He was slowly falling deeply in love with a ghost. One stormy night, Eleanor looked at him with tears in her black eyes and whispered, "Soon, we can be together forever, Thomas. No more pain, no more loneliness. We can listen to the waves for all eternity. All you have to do is turn off the light." Thomas finally understood the dark truth. The lighthouse needed a living soul to willingly take Eleanor's place so she could finally be free. He stood trembling in front of the giant spinning lantern. Eleanor stood right behind him, gently stroking his hair, whispering loving words into his ear. "It's okay, my love. You won't suffer anymore. We will have each other forever." His fingers slowly moved toward the old switch. Just as he was about to turn it off, a desperate voice shouted from below, "Thomas, stop. Don't do it." It was Elias. "She has done this to 6 other men before you. She traps their souls here." In that moment, Eleanor's gentle face twisted with centuries of pain and rage. Thomas looked at her, then at the bright spinning light. With his last remaining strength, he pulled his hand away. Eleanor screamed in agony. Her form dissolved into glowing particles and was sucked back into the light. The next morning, Thomas left the island forever. But even years later, on quiet nights, far away from the sea, he still sometimes hears her soft, beautiful voice calling his name, "Thomas." And every time he smiles sadly and whispers back, "I'm still here." But the story didn't truly end there. Thomas left the island that morning with shaking hands and a heavy heart. He drove for hours without stopping, trying to put as much distance as possible between himself and the whispering lighthouse. When he finally reached the mainland, he checked into a small motel and slept for almost 14 hours straight. For the first few weeks, everything seemed normal. He went back to his old apartment, tried to restart his writing career, and told himself that what happened on the island was just a vivid dream caused by isolation and grief. This never really left him. At first, they came only in his dreams. He would see Eleanor standing in the lantern room, smiling gently, reaching out her hand. Then the dreams became more frequent. Sometimes he would wake up in the middle of the night, convinced he heard her voice calling his name from the corner of his dark bedroom. "Thomas." One rainy evening, almost 2 months after he left the island, Thomas found an old notebook he had taken from the lighthouse cottage. He didn't remember packing it. Inside, in beautiful old-fashioned handwriting that wasn't his own, were dozens of pages filled with messages. "I miss you. You promised me forever. Come back to me." His hands started shaking again. That night, the whispers became louder than ever. He could hear Eleanor's voice clearly, even when he was wide awake. "Thomas, I'm still waiting. The light is so cold without you." He tried to ignore it. He played the loud music. He stayed with friends. He even went to therapy, but nothing worked. The more he tried to forget her, the stronger her voice became. 6 months later, Thomas made a decision. He sold almost everything he owned, bought a small boat, and sailed back to the island alone. When he arrived, the lighthouse looked exactly the same. The cottage was dusty, but untouched. The moment he stepped onto the island, the wind seemed to welcome him. The waves sounded like they were singing. That night, he climbed the spiral staircase once again. Eleanor was waiting for him at the top, more beautiful and more sorrowful than he remembered. "You came back," she whispered, tears of light falling from her black eyes. "I knew you would." This time they didn't just talk. Eleanor showed him memories from her life in 1897. She let him feel the terror of the storm, the love she had for her father, and the endless loneliness she had endured for over a century. Thomas cried with her. He held her translucent hands and told her he was sorry for leaving. But Eleanor had changed too. Her gentle nature had been slowly corrupted by decades of waiting. She no longer just wanted freedom. She wanted him to stay. "I don't want to be alone anymore," she said, her voice trembling. "If you turn off the light, we can be together. I will never let you feel pain again. We can become part of the lighthouse, forever." Thomas stood once more in front of the giant spinning lantern. The storm outside was even more violent than before. Elias was no longer there to warn him. There was only him, Eleanor, and the decision. He looked at her pale, beautiful face. He remembered all the nights they had shared, all the secrets, all the love he felt for this ghost who understood him better than any living person ever had. His hand reached for the switch again. This time, he didn't pull back immediately. He closed his eyes and whispered, "If I do this, will I ever see the sun again?" Eleanor smiled sadly and replied, "You won't need the sun anymore, my love. You will have me, and I will have you. That will be enough." Thomas stood completely still in the lantern room, the powerful beam of light rotating around him, casting long, moving shadows across the circular walls. The storm outside was now at its absolute peak. Rain hammered against the thick glass windows, like thousands of tiny fingers trying to get inside. The wind howled so loudly it almost sounded like screaming. Eleanor stood right in front of him, her long white dress gently moving even though there was no wind inside the room. Her black eyes were filled with desperate hope and centuries of loneliness. His hand hovered just inches away from the old metal switch that controlled the massive lantern. "Thomas," she whispered, her voice softer and more beautiful than ever, "you don't have to be afraid. I've waited 129 years for someone like you. Someone who understands real pain. Someone who knows what it means to be truly alone." She slowly stepped closer until her translucent face was only a breath away from his. "If you turn off the light," she continued gently, "I will finally be free. And you will stay here with me. We will become part of this lighthouse together. Every night we'll watch the ships pass by. Every storm we will dance in the lantern room. No more heartbreak. No more empty apartments. No more sleepless nights wondering why you weren't enough." Thomas felt tears running down his face. Part of him wanted to do it. Part of him wanted to end all the pain, all the regret, all the emptiness he had carried for so long. He closed his eyes and whispered, "Will I forget who I was?" Eleanor smiled sadly and touched his cheek with her cold, weightless fingers. "You will forget the pain, but you will remember the love, our love. His fingers finally touched the cold metal switch. He began to push it, but in that exact moment, something unexpected happened. A memory flashed through his mind, not from the lighthouse, but from his old life. He remembered the day his wife left him. He remembered how she had cried and said, "I'm not leaving because you're not enough. I'm leaving because I'm broken too." He remembered the pain, but he also remembered the good years, the laughter, the mornings they spent drinking coffee together, the life he once had. He remembered that even in his deepest loneliness, he had still chosen to live. Thomas opened his eyes and looked at Eleanor. For the first time, he truly saw her, not just the beautiful ghost who understood him, but a trapped soul who had been manipulating lonely men for over a century because she couldn't bear her own eternal solitude. "I'm sorry," he said, his voice cracking. "I can't do this." Eleanor's gentle expression shattered instantly. Her face twisted with pure rage and heartbreak. "You promised me," she screamed. The entire lighthouse began to shake violently. "You said you loved me." Thomas stepped back from the switch, tears streaming down his face. "I do love you," he whispered, "but I love life more." With those words, he turned and began running down the spiral staircase as fast as he could. Eleanor's screams followed him, growing louder and more desperate with every step. "You'll come back. They all come back eventually." Thomas ran through the storm, jumped into his small boat, and rowed away from the island with every ounce of strength he had left. Behind him, the lighthouse light seemed to burn brighter than ever, as if furious at his escape. He never returned to the island again. Years passed. Thomas eventually started writing again. His book, The Light That Whispered My Name, became surprisingly successful. He never told anyone that the story was mostly true, but every year on the anniversary of the night, he almost turned off the light. He sits by the ocean wherever he is and looks toward the horizon. And sometimes, just sometimes, when the wind is right and the night is particularly quiet, he still hears it. A soft, distant, heartbreakingly beautiful whisper carried across the waves. "Thomas." He closes his eyes, smiles with both sadness and peace, and whispers back into the night, "I'm still here, Eleanor, and I am living for both of us." And that was the full story of the Whispering Lighthouse. Very soft, gentle whisper. I really hope you enjoyed this long journey with me tonight. I hope my voice wrapped around you like a warm, safe blanket. I hope you felt calm, protected, and maybe even a little less alone. Soft breathing sounds. If you're still here listening, that's okay. There's no pressure to sleep. I'm going to stay right here with you for a while longer. You can just breathe slowly and let my words flow through you. Take another gentle breath with me. Inhale and exhale. Feel how heavy and relaxed your body is right now. Your arms, your legs, your shoulders. Everything is so soft, so safe, so ready to rest. You did well today. Even if you don't feel like it, you made it through. And that's enough. You are enough. Even softer whisper. From now on, if you ever feel lonely, if the nights feel too heavy, remember that I'm always here in WhisperNacht, waiting to whisper stories for you. You can always come back. I will never leave you alone in the dark. Eleanor may still be waiting in her lighthouse, but you, my dear listener, you are free. You are here. You are breathing. You are alive, and that is beautiful. Long, gentle pause with soft breathing. I'm going to keep whispering quietly for a little while longer. You can close your eyes completely now. Let your mind drift wherever it wants to go. Let the waves from the story carry you gently into sleep. You are safe. You are deeply loved. You are never truly alone. Thank you for spending this night with me. Thank you for trusting me with your relaxation. It means more than you know. Whenever you need me, I'll be right here. Sweet dreams, my dear listener. The deepest, most peaceful dreams. I'll see you again very soon in another story. Until then, just let go and sleep. Soft, slow, gentle whispers and breathing sounds continue for a long time. Was the full story of the Whispering Lighthouse. Very soft, gentle, and slow whisper. You know, every time I finish telling this story, I stay silent for a while. It always touches something deep inside me. I find myself wondering how many of you listening right now have ever felt like Thomas. Have you ever been so tired, so heartbroken, or so lonely that a part of you wanted to disappear? That you secretly wished you could turn off your own light just so the pain would stop? I've received so many messages from listeners who said this story felt personal. Some lost someone they loved. Some felt stuck in life for years. Some admitted they once stood at a similar edge, wondering if it would be easier to just let go. This story isn't really about ghosts or lighthouses. It's about loneliness. It's about how powerful and dangerous love can become when it grows out of deep pain. Eleanor wasn't a villain. She was a soul who had suffered alone for over a century. Her love became possessive because she couldn't bear another moment of isolation. And Thomas, he wasn't weak. He was human. He was carrying so much pain that the promise of never being alone again felt like salvation. But in the end, he made the harder choice. He chose to keep living. He chose uncertainty over false peace. He chose to keep his own light on, even when it hurt. Soft breathing. If any part of this story resonated with you tonight, if you felt a tightness in your chest or tears in your eyes, please know that it's okay. You are not alone in feeling this way. Many of us walk around carrying invisible weights. Many of us smile during the day, but lie awake at night, wondering if we're enough. Right now, I want you to be incredibly gentle with yourself. Take a slow, deep breath with me. Inhale gently, filling your lungs with calm, warm air. Hold it for a second, and exhale slowly, releasing all the tension you've been holding. Let's do this several more times. Every time you breathe out, imagine you're letting go of the day, letting go of worries, letting go of self-judgment, letting go of everything that feels heavy. Feel your body now. Your feet are becoming heavier, sinking into the bed. Your calves and thighs are relaxing completely. Your hips and lower back are soft and supported. Your stomach rises and falls gently with each breath. Your chest feels open. Your shoulders have dropped far away from your ears. Your arms feel warm and heavy, like they're made of soft lead. Your hands and fingers are completely relaxed. Your neck is loose. Your jaw hangs softly. Your forehead is smooth. Your eyes are resting deeply. Very gentle whisper. Now imagine a beautiful, soft, golden light beginning in the center of your chest. Let this light slowly expand. Feel it moving into your shoulders, flowing down your arms, warming your hands. Feel it spreading through your torso, down through your legs, all the way to your toes. This light is pure peace. This light is unconditional love. This light is giving you full permission to rest. You don't have to fix anything tonight. You don't have to be productive. You don't have to figure out your future. You don't even have to be happy right now. You only need to breathe and exist. If thoughts come, that's fine. Let them pass like waves on the shore. You don't need to follow them. You don't need to argue with them. Just gently return to my voice and to the feeling of your body resting. You are safe here with me. You are safe in your bed. You are safe in this moment. I've told many stories on WhisperNacht, but this one always feels the most personal because we all have our own lighthouse inside. Sometimes its light shines brightly. Sometimes it flickers. Sometimes we feel like turning it off. But please, keep your light on just a little longer. The world needs your light, even when it feels dim, even when you feel tired. Your light is important. I'm going to stay here with you for a long time. I'll keep whispering softly. You can fall asleep at any moment. There is no pressure at all. Just let my voice wrap around you like a warm blanket. You are enough. You are worthy of deep rest. You are worthy of love, exactly as you are. You are stronger than you think. Sweet dreams, my dear listener. May your sleep be peaceful and healing. May you wake up tomorrow feeling even slightly lighter. May you remember that even in your loneliest nights, you were never truly alone. Thank you for spending this night with me. Thank you for trusting me with your relaxation. It truly means the world. I'll be right here, whispering gently until you drift completely into sleep. You are loved. You are safe. You are home. Soft breathing and gentle whispers continue. Right now, that's perfectly okay. Sometimes the mind needs extra time to wind down, even after listening to a long story. So let's take this moment together and do something gentle and helpful for your body and mind. Whenever you feel ready, slowly open your eyes. There's absolutely no rush. Take a long, deep breath in through your nose, filling your lungs completely, and then release it slowly through your mouth. Do this several times. Feel how each exhale helps your body become a little more relaxed, a little heavier, a little more at peace. When you're ready, gently sit up in your bed. Stretch your arms slowly above your head. Roll your shoulders back and then forward a few times. Tilt your head gently from side to side. Rotate your neck slowly and carefully. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Just small, kind movements to wake up your body softly and release any hidden tension. Now, stand up slowly. Take a few quiet steps around your room. Walk very slowly, feeling every step as your feet touch the floor. You can walk in small circles or from one side of the room to the other. Let your arms swing gently by your sides. If you want, stop by the window and look outside for a moment, breathing in the night air. simply stand still and feel your body standing tall but relaxed. If you need to go to the bathroom, go ahead. Take your time. Splash some cool water on your face. Wash your hands. Maybe even brush your teeth if you haven't. Do whatever your body's asking for. While you're up, you can do a few more gentle stretches. Reach your arms up high. Bend sideways. Shake your legs lightly. Roll your ankles. Everything should feel slow, calm, and caring. When you feel ready, come back to your bed. Fix your pillow until it feels just right. Adjust your blanket so it covers you perfectly. Lie down in your favorite sleeping position, whether that's on your side, on your back, curled up, or any other way that feels comfortable tonight. Once you're settled, close your eyes again. Take one more long, slow, deep breath. Inhale calm and peace, and exhale everything that no longer needs to stay with you tonight. Let your whole body sink deeper into the mattress. Feel how supported you are. Feel the weight of the blanket on top of you. Feel the softness of the pillow under your head. Everything is here to help you rest. You don't have to fall asleep right away. You can just lie here and breathe. You can let my voice continue flowing over you like a gentle river. Or if you still want to listen to more, you can open the channel and choose another story. There are many different stories waiting for you. Ghost stories, mystery tales, emotional stories, relaxing stories without any fear, and more. Whatever your mind needs right now, you can find something that fits. You've already done something very good for yourself tonight by listening to this long story. You gave yourself time. You gave yourself space. You gave yourself permission to rest. That is important. Be proud of that small but meaningful act. Long, soft pause with breathing. Now let your thoughts become slower and slower. Let them drift further and further away. There's nothing you need to solve tonight. There's nothing you need to worry about right now. Tomorrow will come when it comes. Right now, this moment is only for rest. I'll keep whispering very softly for a long time. You can listen as much as you like, or you can let the words slowly fade into the background until they become like distant waves. You can let yourself float in that beautiful space between being awake and being asleep. You are doing beautifully. Even if sleep takes a little longer tonight, you are still resting. You are still healing. You are still taking care of yourself in the best way you can right now. Whenever you need a quiet voice, whenever the nights feel heavy, whenever you want company while falling asleep, you can always return to this channel. New stories are added regularly, and there will always be a soft voice waiting here for you. For now, just breathe. Just rest. Just be. Let go a little more with every breath. Let your body become even heavier. Let your mind become quieter and quieter. Sweet dreams, my dear listener. May your sleep be deep, peaceful, restorative, and full of gentle healing. I'll be right here, whispering softly, staying with you until you finally drift away completely into a beautiful, calm sleep. Very soft, slow, gentle whispers and breathing sounds continue for a very long time.